Hey, so number one, jumping right in. Most people think that the Hamlet they read in high school or college is the Hamlet, but in fact there were 3 editions published in Shakespeare's day, and there are like 2,000 differences between them. Whatever you read was an editor's mashup. The first quarto, for instance, it's half the length of the other versions, and it's really a mess. Listen to this. To be or not to be? Aye, there's the point. To die, to sleep. Is that all? Aye, all. The rest of it is just as bad. Though there are some passages that are very accurate. But think about it. This is an actor who was on stage with Shakespeare in the earliest production of Hamlet reporting to you. Second quarto came out a year later, newly imprinted, enlarged, and to almost as much again as it was according to the true and perfect copies. In the first folio, Shakespeare's collected works, they were complaining about stolen and surreptitious copies. There's some big differences. Hamlet's last soliloquy is completely missing from Q1 and Q2, and other speeches are completely rewritten or missing from others. There are also some little differences, for instance. Oh, that this too solid flesh would melt. In Q2, it's sallied flesh, which has some wonderful multiple meanings, and most editors modernize it to sullied. There are more things than heaven and earth that are dreamt of in your philosophy. In F1, it's our philosophy. These are little differences, but again, they're hundreds, thousands, and some of them make a difference. For instance, no matter how much you might think otherwise, Hamlet is not 30 years old. Everything in the play says Hamlet is 16 or 17, except for this one crazy conversation that he has with the gravedigger in the graveyard. How long has there been a gravedigger? Hamlet asks. I came to it that day young Hamlet was born. I've been sexton here, man and boy, 30 years. But in first folio says, I've been 16 here, comma. Man and boy, 30 years. The gravedigger started work at 14, normal age for an Elizabethan, and he's been on this ground in Denmark for 30 years. It's the gravedigger that's 30, not Hamlet. And this has significant implications. For instance, Gertrude's a young woman of childbearing age. She can bear Claudius, a rival heir. Hamlet will never take the throne. He'll never take the crown. Now think about the nasty family power struggle going on inside Elsinore for the succession. If Gertrude's pregnant, or if she could be pregnant, and Hamlet knows this, you can turn up the dial on that to 11. Everybody thinks that the to be or not to be speech is Hamlet unpacking his noble heart to the audience. But in fact, what we're watching is a classic Elizabethan eavesdropping scene, and Hamlet knows that Claudius and Polonius are behind the curtains there. He's just finished unmasking Rosencrantz and Guildenstern and plotting the mousetrap. His suspicions are at a peak, and Claudius sends for him. And what he delivers is the classic set speech of an Elizabethan melancholic schoolboy. There's not a single first-person pronoun in it. Every other soliloquy is lousy with them. They're all about Hamlet. This is manipulation and gaming, not philosophy. But as it turns out, it doesn't work. Likewise, the mousetrap, the play that Hamlet puts on to catch the conscience of the king, total fail. Just before Lucianus pours poison in the player king's ear, Hamlet says that Lucianus is nephew to the king. So what the courtiers and the king see is the nephew of the king murdering the king in a play put on by the nephew and stepson of the current king. There's of course Claudius is furious. Hamlet learns nothing about the murder. In fact, Hamlet is the only revenge tragedy in history, classical or Elizabethan, in which nobody knows the murder happened. Claudius knows. He admits it to us, the audience, twice. But Hamlet heard from this ghost who he doesn't trust for shit. Even at the end of the play, especially at the end of the play, with everybody dead, nobody even knows that the murder ever happened. In Hamlet's dying words, the rest is silence. I hope you like that. If you want to know more, my new book's just out in second edition and ebook. And come and talk to me. Ask me questions. I love talking about this stuff. Thank you very much.